converging? Now, it depends, but everyone's separated by a point or two, so I don't want to put too much stock in Ohio. Republican Governor John Kasich, who was saying yesterday, you know, if he gets smoked in New Hampshire, it's over. I'm sure he doesn't envision that happening. The governor joining me now. Governor, good to have you.
Neil, how are you?
Very good, sir. It's got to be a tiring process. Do you look at these polls, or you just keep going and keep going? What do you do?
No, look, Neil, we know what's happening here on the ground. Look, they've spent millions and millions of dollars against me, all of them, including Rubio, and not just on TV, but mailing. And look, I mean, a tracking poll. We've been consistently running in second place. And I feel very good about it. We've run a very positive campaign. We have the best ground game in the business. And the town halls will be hitting 100 by the end of business tomorrow night. And I've been in politics a long time. And I'm telling you, we're going to come out of here very, very strong. And I've found most of the pundits have been wrong about most things. And I feel very good about we're not changing anything. And we're going to know in a few days.
Indeed, we will. You know, Governor, I had Chris Christie here yesterday, and he was really going after Marco Rubio as the boy in the bubble, even though technically Rubio is slightly older than Ted Cruz. He's not targeted Ted Cruz. What do you make of that, and why have you not done the same thing?
Well, I don't really have any comment about that. Neil, I just had a lady earlier today tell me, she said, you've run such a positive campaign, whatever happens, you can hold your head high, and you will leave here with great integrity. And I just think being positive and telling people what you're for is a lot more effective than trashing somebody else. And when I mention this in the town halls, people cheer. So I think we're going to do very well up here, and I'm not going to resort to, talking about somebody else or trashing somebody else. I mean, I'll defend myself, but my message is fundamentally positive, and it has been for a very long time. It's how I run all my campaigns. And, Neil, you just wait. I've been telling you. You remember when I was real low, you were like, how are you going to do it? And now we're up there in the top tier. You'll see it happen.
I don't think I ever asked it. You might be thinking of an interview on MSNBC, but it's possible you're tired. Now, let me say, you mentioned about trying to be above board and all of that. I want you to respond to this. Chris Christie today. Take a look.
Governor Kasich has sort of been described as one of the candidates that's bringing a positive message to this campaign.
Come on, John Kasich? Come on, seriously. I mean, John just put out some kind of ad with mud all over me and Rubio and Bush. Like that's a positive message from John Kasich?
What is he talking about, Governor?
Well, what I would tell you, Neil, is that I said if we get attacked, we're going to respond. And it's not my ad, it's our super PAC, but nevertheless, right. Look, Neil, all these campaigns have spent millions of dollars against me to drive up my negatives, to drive down my positives. I mean, it's a fact. You go and check the amount of dollars being spent here, and then you look in their mailboxes, and they got to get bigger mailboxes to take all the negative ads. So, look, it's all part of the game. But I believe here in a crowded field that positive wins. And, I'm not going to defend myself, but I don't even mention these people when I'm at a town hall meeting. And I've done, 95 of them, 96 of them. I don't spend my time talking about them. Look, you haven't heard me say anything about them since I've been on your show many times. So that's just where it's going to be.
All right. Well, let me ask you. I personally think, Governor, that a lot of this has the look and feel of professional wrestling. Having done a couple of the debates, you guys zing each other during the commercial breaks. You laugh, you slap each other on the back. Maybe not exactly you, but that this is not personal. It's just business. But I wonder after this nominee is decided on, and whether it's you or somebody else, can you get back to business? In other words, are the wounds so deep from this battle back and forth that it's going to be a wounded nominee?
Well, Neil, what I believe is that if you run a campaign fundamentally based on negative, you can't win a general election anyway. How are you going to unite people? When your whole message is trashing somebody else, how are you supposed to tell people what you want to do and begin to rally people for what it is you want to do? So I just think that these things can get out of control, but it's not about getting the Republican Party. It's winning the general election. And if you can't unite people, I don't know how you're going to win. You can't win in Ohio if you come in with, with a negative message and divide it. It just doesn't work that way.
You know, there's still a great deal of controversy, and Donald Trump, the first to stir it up over the Iowa results. He thinks they should have a redo because he says that Ted Cruz pulled some fast ones. And Ben Carson, when I was talking to him, he's upset about it too. Didn't know if it was really practical or even feasible to have another shot at doing the caucuses over again. But what do you think of that?
I don't think about it at all. It's not going to happen. So I don't think. Here's the thing that I do. Look, I get up in the morning. I get ready. I exercise. Maybe I read a little scripture. And then I go out and do my town halls. I've done one today. Then I was at a high school talking to an entire high school. I'm going to be doing 2 more, and that's what I do. And then I ride on the bus. I talk to people who visit up here. You know, we've had 500 or 600 people come up here from Ohio. We've got 400 or 500 volunteers right here in New Hampshire. I got made phone calls today. The people who have moved here to try to help us. You know, that's what I focus on. I'm not like, I don't even have the news on. I don't put the news on. If I got anything on the television on the bus, it's the Golf Channel. Really? What do I want to spend my time doing that for? I got too much else to do. Neil, I'm having the time of my life. I'm in a good place. I'm happy about it, and I'm going to keep doing this right till the end.
Are you saying, Governor Kasich, that you don't watch me?
I don't, Neil. I've got it all the tape, though. No, I have it all. No. I want to tell you, I have it all taped.
Oh,
and sometime when I've got time, like on vacation, sure, I'm going to play back the best of Neil Cavuto.
Maybe like, you know, January 20th, 2017, right? You'll be watching the old.
Look, I tell people if they, Neil, I ask people if they remember me when I had that blockbuster show Heartland, and they say they don't. I say I have tapes in my car, and I'll lend them to you. So believe me, I will start.
Let me just step back from this race here. And I know in a lot of your town hall forums you feature this debt clock. As you know, Governor, and I harken back to your days as House Budget Chief when you were trying to get these things in balance and did. $19 trillion is a lot of money. There's talk that the CBO says at the rate we're going, it's going to be $30 trillion. You've said Republicans and Democrats are to blame for that. But you've also said that if you're looking to completely revamp tax policy, that's not an overnight kind of a thing. I'm paraphrasing your governor, but it would take some time. I'm wondering, with the size of the debt, whether a President Kasich would have to do something else besides just tax cuts on entitlements, and soon and fast.
Oh,
or
yeah. No, Neil, look, I mean, first of all, you got to deal with federal regulations, and you got to freeze them for a year, except for health and safety, and you got to start repealing some of these things that are crushing small business. You got to reduce corporate taxes and individual taxes to provide the growth, and then you've got to restrain government. You know, I've suggested we move Medicare from 7 to 5 and Medicaid from 5 to 3% growth, freeze all defense discretionary, non-defense discretionary, let defense get a little bit more money while you reform the Pentagon. So you have to balance a budget, which I've done in Washington. We had 4 balanced budgets. We paid down $500 billion of debt. We took a 20% hole in the operating budget in Ohio. We're now running a surplus. You get there 2 ways: economic growth, government restraint. Regulations matter, taxes matter, a fiscal plan matters. You do all of that, and that's how, voila, you get the success. Neil, one other thing I want to tell you, though, before we go.
Sure.
You know, I do these town halls, but you know what's been very interesting about them? Somehow they've become, in some of these town halls, safe zones, where people have been able to come and talk about some of their deepest problems, illnesses with their kids, the problem of drugs in our communities. It has been an amazing thing. And what I've been finding is sometimes there have been people out here who are all alone, who suffer very serious things. And to see them come to these town halls and be comfortable enough to talk about some of their pain, it's pretty remarkable, Neil. I had a guy come in from New York yesterday whose son has got testicular cancer. And he was crying and holding me after the event and saying, I should have warned my son. And then I had a chance to talk to him about letting that go, about faith in the Lord being in charge of things at the end, you know, in terms of how we live our lives and the ultimate outcomes. It has been absolutely amazing to see people come and feel comfortable enough, even with 100 to 200 people in a room. A lady who has a 31-year-old daughter who suffered so many problems and she feels all alone. What's going to happen to my daughter? This is really something, Neil. It's very, very special. It's really touched my heart, and I think it's touched the hearts of a lot of people here. Because I think people do want to have hope. They do want to feel connected. They do want their neighborhoods back. They do want their neighbors to care. They want their families to be stronger. Neil, it's been amazing.
And we shall see where it goes. But I've heard good things about you on the stump and those forums and those town hall meetings. A lot of tears, a lot of laughter. Nothing wrong with that. Governor, thank you very, very much.